completing the square. Here's the steps on how to do it. Namely, suppose you have, here's the model, ax squared plus bx plus c. Now, let's ignore c for a minute. Let's pretend c isn't here. We just have ax squared plus bx. Okay? Now, if a equals 1, then to turn this binomial into a perfect square trinomial, take half of b and square it and add that to the end. The factors will then be x plus b over 2 squared. Now, if you have x squared, let's assume a equals 1. Okay, so we'll just say x squared minus bx. Okay, you can make a perfect square trinomial out of this by taking half of negative b and squaring it. And then your perfect square will be x minus b over 2 squared. And this would still be plus b over 2 squared. Okay, now this is, obviously this is a little abstract, so let's see how this works out. Okay, so let's take x squared plus 10. X, b equals 10, and a equals 1. So take half of b and square it, and that's 25. And so we have x squared plus 10x plus 25 is a perfect square trinomial that factors to x plus 5 squared, or half of b. Okay, now we're doing this. We are intentionally making this a perfect square. Let's do x squared plus 6x. Well, that'll be x plus 3 squared. Half of b and square half of b is 3, and squared, they would be plus 9. And that's going to factor to x plus 3 squared. And let's do x squared minus 12x. And that'll be x minus 6 squared. Okay, we would take half of b and square it. That would be a plus 36. And so we would have x minus 6 squared. Now, you may be asking yourself, why are we doing this? Well, think about this. Okay, suppose we have x squared minus 12x plus 17 equals, oh, I don't know, let's say equals 15. Okay, now, there's all kinds of different ways we could tackle this, but one of the things we might have to try is subtracting 50 from both sides. This is what we've been doing before. And so we'd have x squared minus 12x minus 33 equals 0. And then we try and factor this and see if we can come up with if it factors, and if it doesn't factor, we're kind of stuck. Now, consider doing this. X squared minus 12x plus 17 equals 50. Get rid of the 17, so we're going to subtract it from both sides. We'll have x squared minus 12x equals 33. Complete the square on the left side. That is, we're going to take half of b and square it. That's 36. So we'll have x squared minus 12x plus 36, which factors to x minus 6 squared, equals 33 plus, we have to, what we do on the left side, we add 36, we have to add 36 to the right side. And this will give us what? 69. Now, take the square root of both sides, and we'll have the square root of x minus 6 squared equals plus minus the square root of 69. And so we got x minus 6 equals plus minus root 69. That's an irrational number, but so what? It's okay. It's a little bit bigger than 8. It's a little bit less than 9. Okay, well, it's a bit less than 9, but it's only a little bit greater than 8. So it's around 8. Okay? Add 6 to both sides. And we have x equals 6 plus or minus the square root of 69. And now we have our two solutions of this quadratic. Now, you don't have to do this as part of the homework, but I want you to look at something. Okay? X equals, let's say the square root of 69 approximately equals 8.1. Okay? It's not exactly 8.1, but let's call it 8.12 or something like that. Let's call it 8.1. Because the square root of 64 is 8, and so it's just a little bit bigger than that. Okay, so we would say x is approximately equal to 6 plus or minus 8.1. So we know we have the two zeros, okay? X equals 6 plus 8.1, x equals 6 minus 8.1. So x is around 14, or it's around -2. I'm just rounding off these numbers here. Okay? So in other words, we have at -2, we have a 0. Okay? And at 14, we have a 0. So let's say 14's over here. Okay? So here's our two zeros. Now what's right smack dab in the middle? 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? You go 8 this way and 8 that way. So when you get an answer like this, some number plus or minus a irrational number, okay, like square root of 69, this number in the middle, that is minus b over 2a. It is the axis of symmetry. Why? Because the 1 0 goes to the right, 8 to the right, and 1 0 goes 8 to the left. So 6, x equals 6 is the axis of symmetry. So anyway, there's a lot of really great information we get if we can complete the square. Well, the thing is, you can always complete the square. That's what's really cool about it. It is so great. Why? Because you're in control. You're in charge. Okay. So let's solve x squared. So this is the first, go through a few of these guided practice. I don't care if you turn in the guided practice or not. But I'm just trying to set you up so you can do the homework. Okay? So you follow along with these so you get the hang of it. If you think you've got it, once you think you know what you're doing, go on and start doing the homework. All right. So we're going to subtract 3 from both sides. We're not going to put it in standard form and then try and factor it or whatever. Okay? Now we got x squared minus 12x equals 5. Complete the square. Take half of b and square it. That's going to be -6 squared, 36. Now we're just going to go right ahead and factor this. There's no point in writing it x squared minus 12x plus 36. Let's just go and write x minus 6 squared equals 5. Okay, let's put the plus 36 here just for grins and giggles. And we'll put the 36 here. So it equals 41. Take the square root of both sides. X minus 6 equals plus minus root 41, which is a little bit bigger than 6, right? A little bit less than 7. And x equals 6 plus minus root 41, and 6 is the axis of symmetry. And we go about 6 to the right, and we have one of the zeros, and 6 to the left, and we got one of the zeros. It's so great. Okay. Let's go on to the next guided practice. Here, let's just skip the example, and let's go to, all right, now, what's different? A is not equal to 1. Don't panic. If you ever read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, strongly recommend it. Wonderful books, very funny, lots of science. What is the number one piece of advice given? Don't panic. Okay, 3x squared minus 9x minus 3 equals 21. What do you do? If a is not equal to 1, to complete square, divide through, sorry about that misspelling, that's terrible, by a. So we'll take 3x squared minus 9x minus 3 equals 21, and we're going to divide through by a. Now we're going to have a fraction here. Again, don't panic. Got it. Don't panic. Good. It's my wife saying, God bless you. Bless you. Okay, x squared minus 3x minus 1 equals 7. Divided through. Now let's double check. Okay? Okay. All right. Great. We're off and running. Okay. Now, we're going to add 1 to both sides. Get rid of the 1. So we got x squared minus 3x equals 8. Now, half of b is negative 3 over 2. Okay? So, we would end up adding negative 3 over 2 squared, which would be 9 over 4. So we'll add 9 over 4 over here. But the factor is, so the factors are x minus 3 over 2 squared. See how easy it is? It's so easy. Just take half of b, put it right in the parenthesis, put the square on the outside, you're done. Okay, all right. And to see how easy it is to solve this, stay on the right side, what do we got? So I got some fourths, right? 32 plus 9 is 41, right? 4 times 8 is 32, plus 9 is 41. So we got 41 over 4. Take the square root of both sides. We got x minus 3 over 2 equals plus minus the square root of 41 over 4, which equals plus minus the square root of 41 over 2. Since the denominator is the square root of 4, you're going to make it 2. Okay, add 3 over 2 to both sides. X equals 3 over 2 plus minus root 41 over 2. You can put the whole deal over 2, but I don't recommend doing that. Leave it like this. Y minus b over 2a, which equals the x coordinate of the vertex, equals 3 over 2. If you combine these into one fraction, you lose this, the axis of symmetry. Okay? And here's one of the zeros to the right of the axis of symmetry, and here's one of the zeros to the left, so you go this far. So 41, square root of 41 over 2, 6 over, it's around 3, a little over 3. Okay, go 3 to the right, you got a 0. 3 to the left of 3 over 2, you got a 0. Okay? It's a beautiful thing. All right. And finally, we got a real-world example. Use a graph of a quadratic function. Okay, we don't need a graph, really. This is algebra. I mean, you want to make a graph, okay? I mean, all right. So let's just do this, okay? And you can count this. We can try it again. You can count this as a guided practice or whatever. Anyway, this is a good problem to do. C equals 0.1 x squared. Here's an equation that tells us how much it costs when we buy so many jerseys, where x is the number of jerseys we're getting, plus 2.4 x. I don't know where they got this from. Somebody gave them this crazy equation. I don't know where it comes from. Okay, so if you have $430, how many jerseys can you get? X is the number of jerseys. So let's do it like this: 0.1 x squared plus 2.4 x plus 25 equals. Okay, this is the number of jerseys we're getting right here, and we're going to spend $430. Okay, all right. Now we're going to complete the square. And what we got to do is divide through by a, which is 0.1. Okay, 0.1 divided by 0.1 is 1, so we have x squared. 2.4 divided by 0.1 is 24, so we have plus 24x. 25 divided by 0.1 is 250. And 430 divided by 0.1 is 4,300. Okay, subtract the 250. And we have x squared plus 24x equals 4050. Okay, now complete the square, which is simply going to be x plus 12 squared. Now, we have 12 squares, 144, so we had 144 to both sides, right? So we had 144 here, and so we have x plus 12 squared equals 4194, as you can see here in the book. Okay, so take the square root of both sides. X plus 12 equals plus minus the square root of 4194. So our two solutions, come on, give me another thing here. So two solutions are x equals negative 12 plus minus the square root of 4194. Now, x is the number of jerseys. So x equals negative 12 minus the square root of 4194 is a seriously negative number. And so, not possible. We can't buy a negative number of jerseys. So this answer is out. It's called extraneous. It's mathematically correct, but it does not fit the context of the problem. All right, so the answer has got to be x equals negative 12 plus the square root of 4194. Now we won't get an integer for our answer, and so we'll have to round down because we can only buy a whole jacket, and so we can't round up because then we wouldn't have enough money to buy that extra jacket. So let me get the old calculator here, and we'll do negative 12 plus second square root 4194, and we get 52.76. So x equals 52 jackets, or whatever, jerseys, or whatever the heck we're buying, jerseys that we can buy with that amount of money, which however much money, I forgot how much money we even started out with. That's okay. Now there's a guided practice that goes with this, which is simply doing the same thing with another amount of money. $620. I don't think you need to do that. I think you're all set to go. If you have any further questions on the homework, I am sometime tomorrow. I'm going to work everything out and post it, but I think you will take to this pretty quickly. But anyway, further questions, let me know. Hope you feel better.